Hey there, fellow curious minds. Ever wondered how a group of emerging powerhouse nations came together to challenge the dominations of the world's economic heavyweights? Well, grab your virtual passports, because today we are diving into a fascinating journey of BRICS. From its humble beginnings as BRIC in the mind of British economists to its expansion into BRICS with the addition of South Africa, there is a lot to unpack. But that's not all. We'll explore the recent BRICS Summit of 2023, the ambitious plans for de-dollarization, as well as the internal dynamics that could shape the future of this bloc. So, buckle up, because this story is about to take us on a geopolitical rollercoaster ride. Now, on going back to the duration of 22nd till 24th August 2023, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi have attended the 15th BRICS Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. Hence then, he came to meet the ISRO scientists in Bangalore to congratulate them on the Chandrayaan-3 mission success, which is completely a different and successful story. At the moment, let's dive into today's topic, BRICS. Do you all know what is BRICS? Well, let me just explain you from the beginning. BRICS is a strong bloc consisted of developing countries in order to dominate the G7 countries such as USA, UK, France and so on. If you want to know further, the BRICS wasn't formed by any of these countries initially. If we look into the history of BRICS, it takes us 2 decades away by going back to 2001 to the idea of British economist Jim O'Neill, who have been working in the Goldman Sachs. The 4 once rapidly developing countries that were thought to challenge the global economic power of the developed G7 economies. He mentioned that in case of Brazil, Russia, India and China have formed the group together, they will be a powerful group of developing countries, as all these 4 countries contribute to 35 to 40% of the world population and 30% of the world's economy. Hence, he coined the term BRIC, which is an acronym of Brazil, Russia, India and China. The BRICS countries have been considered as a geopolitical rival to the G7 bloc of leading advanced economies. Then here's what happened. In the duration of 14th and 15th September 2006, when United Nations General Assembly has been held in the New York at United Nations headquarters, the foreign minister of these 4 countries had made a separate meeting regarding the formation of BRIC. Hence, as a positive outcome, they have decided to form the group BRIC. Then, the inaugural BRIC Summit took place in Russia on June 16, 2009. Dr. Manmohan Singh have represented the country India in BRIC as the Prime Minister. Along with the Indian Prime Minister, the President of other 3 have gathered for the summit. Now let's dive into the main agenda of 2009, which is regarding giving lesser importance to the US dollar within the internal trade which is happening between these 4 countries. Now, do you wonder if it's possible? Let's have a look into the internal trade of these countries. If India wants to import machineries from China, they are using dollars and not Indian rupee or Chinese yuan. And similarly, if Brazil wants to import rice from India, they are again using US dollars and not Indian rupee or Brazil real. Now over here, they have a plan to use individual currency of each country, or they are even planning to create a new currency for the internal trade among these 4 countries. And coming to number 2, among the international financial institutions, IMF and World Bank are the 2 super most financial institutions in the world. Now in these financial institutions, US is having the higher level of dominance. Now the BRICS group had a plan to develop a new international bank or financial institution which is parallel to these financial institutions. Along with that, they have announced competing initiatives such as New Development Bank, the Contingent Reserve Arrangement, the BRICS Payment System, the BRICS Joint Statistical Publication, as well as the BRICS Basket Reserve Currency. While all these plans are into discussion, there is a different story from the year 2010. South Africa have came forward in the year 2010 to become the member of BRIC, and the present 4 countries have approved the request of South Africa. Hence, from the year 2010, South Africa have become the member, and guess what? Yes is added. From that moment, all these 5 countries have been an important bloc for BRICS. So all these 5 countries used to meet once in a year for the summit for the duration of 3 days. Considering the summit of this year 2023, they had a very important agenda, which is de-dollarization. Along with that, BRICS is planning to expand its bloc by stating that 14 countries are showing interest to join along with them. Some key nations include Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Indonesia, as well as Argentina and others who were in the list so far. Now all these countries have one thing in common, which is nothing but the de-dollarization. All these countries came to a unique point: why do we have to depend on dollars? If you wonder, over here, considering Russia-Ukraine conflict, USA have sanctioned Russia, hence the global trade of Russia affected drastically from the year 2022. The import percentage of Russia have came down from 9.6% in February 2022 to 1.7% in June 2023. And export percentage have came down from 3.8% to 1.4% in the same period. Hence, not just Russia, many other countries have been affected along with Russia because of these economic sanctions. Now if we look into these 40 countries who are eager to join BRICS, Russia and China are ready to include them as their neighborhood would expand at a better level. And South Africa didn't welcome this as they believed that they could lose their importance in BRICS bloc as they were already a small country. Along with that, India and Brazil didn't show much interest, and especially for India, they look forward to the dominance of China. So there's a lot of confusion in including the new nations into the BRICS. Now if you look into the next scenario in 2023 summit, only 4 country leaders have attended the summit and Vladimir Putin didn't attend the conference, as he had an arrest warrant from International Court of Justice. He thinks that he might get arrested if he goes to South Africa. However, South Africa refused that. They could give some diplomatic immunity, and even then he refused. Instead, his foreign minister have attended. Now coming to the next agenda, it's de-dollarization. Whether it's possible? Well, as per the current scenario, it's almost impossible. If you want to know why, dollar is one of the strongest currency and dollar is considered as a trust in business. If you could use gold for the global trade, then even that would be accepted. Dollar is a better currency compared to other currencies. They would control the inflation and they would be very careful while printing the dollars, and they are number 1 in global GDP. Suppose at present China wants to export something to India. They prefer USD other than INR because with the help of US dollars, they could able to trade to other countries for the global business purpose. So as of 2023, dollar is a high trusted currency among all, and no currency could replace dollars at the moment. Hence, by looking into the 3 facts which is mentioned above, the BRICS Summit from the past 3 years doesn't have good credibility or good improvement. Most of the people have considered this as a photo shoot. If you wonder the reason why, here comes an example. Over here, similar to BRICS, there is a group named SAARC, which includes the following countries. They had a massive plan for creating a trade group with these countries. However, so far they haven't done anything big. Well, over here we all know the reason why. It's because of the inevitable war between the India and Pakistan. There's always a mutual suspicion between them for years and years. And now similarly, if we look into BRICS, India and China are present. If China grows better, India will face a lot of challenges because of them. Well, you will understand the situation when you came to know about many incidents in April 2020, where China have captured the most lands of Ladakh. And at earlier stages, Indian government have stated in media that they have recaptured them as the name of strong government dominance could get collapsed. However, news came silently that they have the land of Ladakh till now. If you look at the foreign minister Jaishankar, he will always state that they have a serious problem in the borders in between India and China. Sadly, there is no improvement as of now. And along with that, China is no longer ready to move forward from the captured places of Ladakh. Now this could collapse the internal relationship of China and India and BRICS. Next, by considering the another fact which is known as the internal contradiction. Now if you look into the BRICS group, India, China and Russia is in one block. Now there is another block called as Quad, which includes America, Japan, USA and other countries, which is used for the purpose of security reasons. Hence there will be an internal contradiction among India and China as well. And along with that, if you look into the formation of Common Bank for BRICS in 2015, initially they have decided to have an equal contribution by all nations. But the fact is that China have contributed more in comparison to other countries. And guess what? They have contributed the money in dollars. So even the de-dollarization is being almost impossible here. And the headquarters of Common Bank is located in Shanghai and has a subscribed capital of 50 billion US dollars. And there you have it. Folks, the integrating tale of BRICS, a group of nations with big dreams and even bigger challenges. As you have seen, their journey from BRIC to BRICS has been embarked by ambitions to reshape the global financial landscape and promote the cooperation. But it's not at all smooth sailing. Internal contradictions, economic complexities as well as global tensions add the layers of intrigue to this story. The 2023 BRICS Summit presented ambitious agendas as well as expansion plans, but the road ahead remains uncertain. So, will BRICS continue to challenge the status quo, or will its unity be tested by the complexities of the rapidly challenging world? Only time will tell. And we'll be here to keep you updated on the fascinating geopolitical narrative. Thanks for joining us on this particular journey. See you next time.